And welcome again to Cottage Talk. I'm Russ Goldman. This is our preview of Southampton versus Fulham. It's another edition of Buy or Sell, where I'm going to share several statements in regards to Fulham and this match. And I'll ask the question, do I buy them or am I selling them? And I'll go through that in this very quick, about 15-minute preview. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. We really appreciate it. As I have mentioned on social media, Cottage Talk will be going back to this summer, probably a daily show. Yes, I'm going to be churning out the shows with my co-hosts, and I look forward to doing that. We are nearing the end of the season, so we are winding down. So that's the reason why you haven't seen as many shows, and for other personal reasons, I just haven't been able to do them. But I do plan on doing many shows moving forward for next season, and I look forward to it because I think it's going to be another exciting season for Fulham Football Club. So I look forward to that. Okay, so let's get to Cottage Talk preview, buy or sell Southampton versus Fulham. Before we talk about the match, I do have some topics I want to discuss, and I will be sharing if I'm buying or selling them. Let's start with number one, and this is an interesting one because I don't think many would be thinking about this, because we're Fulham supporters. We don't think that they can go on some kind of long winning streak, even several matches. Well, I'm asking the question, buy or sell. Fulham will win out. Now, I'm going to sell this. I don't think they're going to win out. I think that they will lose a match. However, I think that there's a distinct possibility that they can win out. I'll share my prediction coming up on the Southampton match. Crystal Palace at home. Seriously, a winnable match. I do like Fulham's chances against Manchester United. It is possible to win out. I'm going to say it right now. They can win out. The return of Mitro, I'm telling you, they will be motivated. He'll be motivated. There's an opportunity for Fulham to get all 9 points of the last 3 matches. However, I will say this. If I'm a betting man, I'm not betting on it, so I'm going to sell this. But I'm going to say this right now. There is an opportunity for Fulham to win out. I just don't think that they will. We'll see what happens. Number 2 item on the docket, we're going to talk about a player that I could have mentioned in a prior show, but we'll talk about it now. And others have actually asked me to comment on it, so I'm going to comment it now. Buy or sell. Manor Solomon will be a Fulham player next season. I'm going to sell this. I don't think he's going to be a Fulham player next season for a couple of reasons. I do think that there are going to be other clubs that are going to come in for him. And I think it's going to be a delicate situation with his parent club, that whole thing. So they're going to look for the highest bidder. So I don't see him coming back, partially because of that. And I think his performances after the goals that he has scored in these 5 matches, I think he's been found out a little bit. And other teams have figured out how to stop him. They force him to the left instead of cutting in on his right, and he has not been able to figure it out since. So for me, if I'm Fulham, I take a hard look at this. I don't know if I bring him back. In fact, I'm going to say this right now. I wouldn't bring back Manor Solomon. That's my take on this. I don't think he's going to be a Fulham player next season. I'm just going to throw it out there. I think Fulham need to upgrade. I thought they thought this player would be an upgrade. I just don't see it. I think he's a good player. I think Fulham can do better. I don't think Manor Solomon will be a Fulham player next season. That's why I'm going to sell that he won't be a player. So that's why I'm selling that. Okay. Here's another interesting one. Ola Aina will return to Fulham. I'm buying this. There are reports coming out of Italy that he could be coming back to Fulham. I think this would be a great move. I actually think that there's a possibility that this will happen. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. I think this might be one of those opportunities that the story might lead to something, that the speculation might lead to a signing. I think there's something to this. It makes sense. That's also one of the reasons why I'm saying he will return to Fulham. I think that this would be great to have a fullback. He is a versatile fullback. It's funny because in his beginning stage with Fulham, it didn't start well with that Brentford match. In fact, I got all kinds of comments about how he's the worst fullback ever in a Fulham shirt. I saw all that, and it turned out to be just plain out wrong. He's a quality player. He would be someone that could potentially start. Will he start? I don't know, because we currently have two very good fullbacks, but we'll see how things play out over the summer. But I'm buying this. I actually think Ola Aina will return, so I'm buying the speculation. We'll see if I end up being right on that. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about the match. So let's talk about Dan James. Buy or sell? Dan James being unavailable will not hurt Fulham. So I'm going to buy this because I don't think this is going to hurt Fulham at all. Partially because you have Mitro coming back. I think that they have enough depth right now at the winger position. Yes, like I mentioned, you can play Solomon. You have Willian. You obviously have Bobby Decordova-Reid. And of course, Wilson is playing very well. So I don't see this hurting Fulham at all. Dan James in spurts has been pretty good. But him not being available with a hamstring, I don't think it's going to hurt Fulham at all. So I'm going to buy this. Dan James being unavailable will not hurt Fulham. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about James Ward-Prowse. Buy or sell, James Ward-Prowse will score on a free kick. I'm buying this. I think he's going to score on a free kick against Fulham. I don't see Fulham getting a clean sheet, and I see James Ward-Prowse scoring a goal against Fulham on a free kick. So I'm buying this. His track record speaks for itself. He's a great player. I would love to have him at Fulham. It's certainly not going to happen, but I actually see this happening. They will give up some opportunities for some set pieces and be the most dangerous player in the Premier League on set pieces. So I'm buying this. James Ward-Prowse will score on a free kick, unfortunately, against Fulham. Okay, one last one, and that involves Mitro. Buy or sell? Mitro will not score in this match. I'm selling this. I think Mitro is going to score in this match. Not only do I think he's going to score in this match, I think he's going to score multiple goals in this match. I'm selling this. I think he's going to get a brace. I'm going to say that right now. I think Mitro will get a brace in this match. He's been chomping at the bit to come back. He's been out for 8 matches. I think Mitro is going to be on fire. And I think this is one of the major reasons why I like Fulham in this match. He's been waiting for his moment. Mitro will return and will have a massive impact against Southampton. I truly believe that. Mitro will not score in this match. Definitely selling that. Mitro will score in this match. I am predicting that. Okay. So before we go any further, I do want to mention my thoughts on Southampton. Southampton is a club that I've admired for a long period of time. I do not like what's going on with them, the situation that they're in. And it's too bad to see. It really is. Because I think for their time in the Premier League, I think they've done it pretty much right. Unfortunately for them, they're a club that has been picked off, not just by the players, but also by the managers that they've had. And this is something actually Fulham can learn from, because all of their best players have left. They took the money and they left. Managers have left. Same thing. Fulham, similar type of club as Southampton size-wise. And I'm thinking Fulham cannot do what Southampton has done. Fulham cannot do what Wolves recently have done when they came up. They've had to sell some of their best players. They sold Jota. Fulham need to back their manager and not sell their best players. That, to me, is ultimately the downfall of Southampton, is that they just sold all their best players. And eventually it comes back to bite them. The money's great, right? The money's good. You make everyone happy. The players happy. Southampton should come first. In this case, Fulham should come first. And I'm very sad what I have seen from Southampton. I do want them to stay in the division. I don't see it happening, but they've had a good run in the Premier League, and I do wish Southampton the best. They will fight on Saturday against Fulham. I truly believe that. But I think Fulham have too much for them. We shall see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Okay, so let's move on. How does Fulham win this match? It begins and ends with Alexander Mitrovic. Get the ball to Mitro as much as possible and let him feed his teammates. Let his teammates feed him. He needs to be involved to the minute the match begins to the minute it ends. Mitro needs to be involved, and I believe he will be extremely involved. That's the key to this match. Get him involved early and see what happens, and I think you'll be rewarded for that. Mitro is the huge key for this match. I could go throughout the regular keys, get the ball out wide, but everything still will come back to Mitro. It's all about Mitro in this match. Get Mitro his touches, and Fulham will win this match. Okay. Coming up next, I'm going to share my starting 11 and my prediction for this match for Fulham against Southampton. Okay. So here is my prediction of what I think Marco Silva will go with. Starting 11 is this. It's going to be Bernd Leno in net, Kenny Tete as your right back, Anthony Robinson as your left back, Diop and Tosin as your center backs. In the middle, Paulinho, Reed, and Kearney. On the left, Willian. On the right, Harry Wilson. And welcome back, Alexander Mitrovic. That, to me, is the big difference in this match. He will be back, and I think he's going to score multiple goals in this match. That's my prediction. But let's now go to the prediction for the match that I'm going to share right now. And it pains me to do this because I have a lot of respect for Southampton. Part of me doesn't want Fulham to be the team to put them down, but I think they're going to be. In fact, I think they're going to do it comfortably. I'm going with a 3-1 victory, 2 goals from Mitro, and I'm going to say a goal from Tom Kearney. I'm going 3-1 to Fulham. I think James Ward-Prowse will score the other goal for Southampton, keep them in the match, but I think Fulham have way too much for Southampton. There's so much pressure on them in this match. They will play like a desperate team. However, Fulham will counter that with playing with no fear, and I think that will basically play into Fulham's hands because they're going to try to take it to Fulham. They're going to be aggressive. And that aggressiveness, I think, will be their downfall because then Fulham will be able to beat them on the counter and really dictate this match and get Mitro involved early and often. So that's why I'm going with a 3-1 Fulham victory. Okay, very good. Well, that's going to do it for this quick episode of Cottage Talk. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. As I've always been mentioning throughout the majority of this season when we made the deal with talkSPORT, we are now part of the talkSPORT fan network. You'll be hearing more about that next season, but they are starting to promote it a little bit. But yes, we are part of the talkSPORT fan network. I'm proud of that, and hopefully we'll see more of a partnership next season with talkSPORT because we're part of the talkSPORT fan network. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Cottage Talk. My name is Russ Goldman. Thank you, as always, for watching and listening to Cottage Talk, now part of the talkSPORT fan network.